What is going on, spectators? Welcome back to episode 151. My name's Julian. I'm here with Brooklyn and Gerard, and we are going to be going over all the quarterbacks in the NFL and making a tier list of them. It's going to be a good time. The NFL is a couple weeks away, and me and the boys are ready, as you can tell with the jerseys and the gear.
Yeah,
We're hyped for
yeah.
some football. It is that time of year. It's
Yes,
that time
sir.
of year. So before we get started, you guys got anything to say?
JETS.
Coach Brooklyn.
He is Coach Brooke right now. We got the glasses on. We are locked in. We are absolutely locked in. I don't have like a legal pad near me, but if I did,
There we go.
you got it. Look at that. Always prepared over there. So
We
yeah,
know reading plays over here, baby.
exactly. So the way we got this tier list set up, we have 7 tiers ready for you guys. We're going to put everybody in there. We might wind up switching them as we go on. And then we're going to have Brooklyn go, then G, then me. If we have a big dispute, we'll figure out a spot to put them. But for the most part, it's going to be up to that person. We have MVP caliber at the top, franchise QB at 2nd, very good at 3, average at 4, below average at 5, backup at 6, and prospect at 7. Prospect's low-key a cop-out. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So, Brick, you get this bad boy started since you got the legal pad and you are ready to go.
Yes, sir. And the first one off the board is going to be the 2-time MVP back-to-back, Aaron Rodgers. I don't think there's really any discussion about this. We're going to go ahead throw him on the MVP caliber because that's what he is. Every time he steps on the field, every time he suits up, that boy contending for an MVP. So go ahead, put him.
And he's literally the 2-time, so back-to-back.
Yeah.
Back-to-back, baby.
Hard not to be a caliber when you've done it a couple times.
Yeah.
So
No debates here.
yeah, I also want to say this is going into next season. So, like, say there's a guy you're going to talk about next, actually, with Cam Newton coming up, where he was an MVP. Just because he won it doesn't mean he's,
No,
it's for the coming 2022-23 season. So, wanted to get that back out there. Gee, what you got for me?
We got Little Red Rocket over here, Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's had an up-down career so far. Had a good stint with the Bengals. And then went to the Cowboys, played a little bit because Dak's leg tore in half. And now he's a backup. That's just simply what it is. He is Justin Fields' backup. Not much to go into on that one. He's not good anymore. He's getting up there in age. And yeah.
The fact
Simple.
that he's even still a backup based on his age is actually kind of impressive to me. Like he's been pretty okay the last couple of years, and for him to still have a job, it's like, hey, good, you're keeping in shape, Andy. Good job.
There you go.
Good job, dude. I'm kind of happy I got put over here with Baker. So Baker had a crazy offseason where he got shoved out of Cleveland, which is just like the biggest blessing of all time, and he winds up going to Carolina. And we found out, I think it was this weekend, that he is going to be the starting quarterback over there. There was a QB battle for forever. I'm sure this is going to change at some point, but at the time of this, he's going to be a starter in Carolina. And I actually think that Baker is going to be sitting pretty much at average. I don't think he's actually as bad as we like to give him crap for. I mean, he has some kind of bonehead plays, but he's shown there's been games where he can throw for 500, 5 touchdowns, fully air it out. And like that ceiling is still there. It's just kind of hard for him to touch it consistently. So I'm going to put him at average. I think that's a decent spot, and that he doesn't make the Panthers like favorites or anything, but I think he could maybe win them a game or two more than any other options they've had. So
Yeah, I think that with Baker on the team, it's going to open up the doors for them a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but he definitely has one of the strongest arms in the league, so that'll be a bonus. But other than that, nothing really going there.
Yeah, and health on that team is going to be the thing that takes them wherever they go. So we'll see what happens. But let's go to the all-time Carolina QB, Cam Newton, with the fall from grace, bro. It's been so tough seeing him just crumble. He was with Carolina his whole career, goes to New England, gets a spot, plays okay, goes back to Carolina, plays terrible, and he at the moment he's just not what he is, and I gotta put him below average at the moment because I don't see him going on any team right now and like standing out and saying, "Oh, he's going to go there and they're going to contend and he's going to be a difference maker." I'm not getting that vibe.
So do you think he's
below average?
So you say below average, so that means you think he's a starter somewhere?
I do think he could start somewhere. Like you put
think
him
he's
on,
top 32?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I'll give him top 32. Like I'll put him over Heineke and the other guys like that. Like
Oh no, I'm just asking. I'm not debating.
No,
you.
I'm saying. Like I definitely would.
And when we fill this out, I imagine he'll be towards the bottom of below average and in your brain, right? Because obviously,
well, we can update it whenever you drag him. You can update it. Like you can put him in front of people.
We'll move him in order and all that. But okay. I hear what you're throwing.
Mm-hmm.
He can still run, and that makes him better than a lot, though. Like his feet still play.
Absolutely,
they still
play. And he's still massive. He's a big body.
Yeah, for sure.
And keep in mind, no matter where you put these guys, because like we'll put somebody at a prospect, that don't mean that they're going to be trash. Even below average, that just means that ain't your guy.
Yeah,
right.
I kind of think prospect too is somebody we haven't seen. Like,
right,
we're gonna put somebody there that like hasn't played enough games to like kind of justify putting them anywhere. So
there's a couple guys here. So
all right. G, you got next.
Red Rocket number 2. Crazy. All right, we're going with little Carson Wentz. I mean, he was his first 2 years in Philly was outstanding. Like MVP caliber type seasons. Unfortunately got plagued with injuries. Then he heads over to Indianapolis and didn't look good at all. Like he's, in my opinion, the reason they weren't in the playoffs because he just made stupid mistakes. However, with that being said, I still do think he has a chance to rebound his career. So for that, I'm going to put him at average, but I'm putting him behind Baker.
Okay, and he's an interesting guy too, because like if you look numbers wise, he was still okay last year. I think he was like dead center in the league in like yards, and like his touchdown to interception ratio was pretty good. But if you like watch the game, you're like, wow, this guy's like not great. So the average kind of works its way out there.
Yeah, not terrible, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, we have Case Keenum on this list, which is super interesting because I'm not even sure what team he's on at the moment.
He's our backup.
He's on Buffalo.
Okay. Yeah, he's our backup.
And it's crazy because he is quite literally a backup, but I do think that he is a below average. I think that he's better than a backup, and he's kind of shown that in the past that like when he gets put in as a backup, he can play pretty well. And as a starter, he's not horrible either. I don't think a team's like anxious to go get him. Like you're getting him to be a backup, but he'd be one of the better ones. So I'd say below average for me. He's like the perfect guy to have in a locker room, and he's kind of been there before. So I'm gonna put him in below average above Cam. If he's starting a game for me in week 12, I am just really not upset about it.
Yeah, he's definitely someone like I am excited to have behind Josh because if something were to happen to Josh, knock on wood. But I think if it was like a couple game stint, I think Case Keenum with our offense can hold his own, which is all you need him to do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, I'm kind of right there with you. All right, this is like the first. This is like the first hard one right here. I feel like.
Ooh, yeah.
The 2022 Nickelodeon valuable player. That's Prescott.
Mr. Slime Time himself.
Put some slime on his name, baby.
Dang, he took a Mitch spot. Money Mitch. That's crazy.
But Dak, you're gonna get like MVP type play at points in the season with him being on the Cowboys. But the thing is, being on the Cowboys, I don't think that's ever gonna give him the chance to really drive it home in an MVP race and really take it home. Now, the Cowboys being the epicenter for mediocrity, you can live with him as your franchise quarterback and ride off into the sunset, maybe get a over 500 record. You win double-digit games. You're sitting happy. You guys maybe made the playoffs, get knocked out. You guys are going to keep him there for years to come.
True.
So for that reason, being on the Cowboys and being what they are, Dak is going to be a franchise QB for me.
Okay. I do think Dak gets a lot of hate, unwarranted hate, just because of where he's at.
Absolutely.
I think it's a combination of where he's at. I'm gonna throw him in franchise QB, even though I don't fully agree with that. I think it's not so much like of where he's at. I think it's just like a performance thing, and it comes down to like when the brightest of lights are on him, he's not always there. He doesn't make those plays that you want a franchise QB to make, but he definitely is. I think a franchise quarterback, at least in my brain, is like a top 10 or fringe top 10 guy. Like if you're like 12 through 1, you're probably a franchise QB, for better or for worse. So I don't know if that's how this list is going to pan out, but that's kind of how my brain works. So
yeah, that's fair. But I do think Dak can take. He's only 26. I think he can.
He could get better.
I think he can lead them deeper in the playoffs than he did last year. I mean, the past couple of years. So
yeah.
It's just the Cowboys being the Cowboys. Like,
yeah,
is there gonna be light at the end of the tunnel for him here? I don't know. And like they're gonna keep him here. Yeah, they're gonna keep him here. So it's just like it's tough for him when it's all said and done.
Speaking of tough, we are on this bozo. He's so bad. Daniel Jones, quarterback for the New York Jets and
Giants.
Huh?
Did I say Jets? I'm sorry, Giants.
That was disrespectful.
That ain't my boy.
That was disrespectful.
tomato, basically. But anyways,
seriously.
Yeah, he's just not good. He has stints where looks like he could be an average QB, but then like
that's
most
like
of the time,
top. That's like the peak.
yeah, his peak is average QB, like very end of the average QB. I'll put him below average, like literally like towards
say where
the
you
end.
want to put him. Say where you want to put him.
All right, he's a backup. To me, he's a backup. Like Daniel Jones is a backup. He's not a starting quarterback. He's a placeholder until the Giants figure out whatever the Giants are going to figure out. And yeah, it's just, and I don't even know what to say. I mean, granted, he doesn't have the best weapons. They got a new coach, so we'll see what Dable does with him. But 4 years in the league now, and I have been impressed by him 0 times. So
you're better than me. I would have put that boy as a prospect.
I do think he's like could improve a little bit with Dable because Dable is going to make that offense better. But I legitimately don't think that he's going to be starting by the end of the year. I think the Giants are going to be wanting to win games, and they're going to wind up starting Tyrod Taylor. They like him more. Like the locker room just likes him more. It's crazy.
America likes him.
Everywhere Tyrod goes, though,
they love him.
He's
a
fan favorite. He's a locker room favorite. So why not?
It's one of those things. So you wanted to say backup, but he's a literal starter, and I wasn't letting you take that cop out.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a backup, but he's just in a spot where there's no one else to take his spot right now. So I guess, but yeah, he's a backup to me.
Okay, I like it. Up next for me, I have Davis Mills. Davis Mills is below average. I think at his best, he could maybe one day be very good. I think he was pretty darn good last season, but there was not really any film or notoriety on him. I don't think teams were really game planning overly for him. Like, obviously you do. Like, you do your diligence as a team, but people weren't going into a week with Houston and like, we got to set up a scheme to stop Davis Mills and that offense. Like, no, that's not really what was happening. It's like, let's get out of this game not injured. So
yeah,
I think Davis could be cool though. Like I want him to be great, but I think he's going to be below average right now, and I'd put him behind Case Keenum at the moment.
So in front of Cam though?
Yeah.
In front of Cam. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean with Davis, he had a nice stretch at the end of the season last year. Him and Cooks got it going together. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if that rolls over. If that
he was the best rookie QB last year. And I think he might be the lowest rookie QB on my list. It's kind of funny how that works, but
all right, next one up, Viva Las Vegas. We got Derek Carr coming up, and you look at Carr, and every year he's up there fighting for the top spot in stats when it comes to QBs, putting up big numbers, and it's impressive. I don't think like you look back maybe like 4 years ago that you would think, oh, Derek Carr is going to be throwing almost 5,000 yards in a season. Like, look at you sideways if you say something like that. The only thing is, I look at Carr and I'm not wanting to build my franchise around him though. And apparently, the Raiders did. Gruden and the boys did, because it came out when Dana White was on the interview the other day. He was saying that the Raiders almost got Gronk and Brady. So when Brady came out and said, "Oh, you going with that dude?" Turns out they wanted Carr to be their franchise QB. Me, I'm not doing it. Carr's dope though, so I got to give him the first very good spot because I don't think he's average, but falls right in the middle.
I think that's a great spot for him.
100%.
Yeah, I think that's a great spot for him. He is really good,
like
and I think very good too. Like, since it's not MVP or franchise, people might think like, oh, well, very good. Like, you guys don't think he sucks. Like, no, I think anybody in very good or better could lead their team to a deep playoff run.
They're legit very good.
Yeah. It's just, you got to distinguish these guys somehow. So, yeah, I'm right there with you.
Oh, Lord. Look who I get.
This is a really tough one, man, because
disclaimer. All right, so disclaimer. I have to go based off the last time I saw this man, which was what, 2019, right? 2020.
He played in 2020.
All right, so 2020. That's what I have to base it off of, and I'm not gonna act like all that stuff happened. I'm just gonna talk about him as a player, not a person, because if he's a person, he's below a prospect.
If he's a person, he's out of the league.
Yeah.
If he's a person, he's in jail. Should be.
But so this one's actually, to me, is very tough because there's 3 spots I could put him in. Okay. Because Deshawn Watson, when he's balling, is MVP caliber type player to me. Yeah. He's top 5 in the league. Yep. Just untouchable, basically, and he has that dog in him. But at the same time, he could be a franchise QB right now. I think the Browns, that's what they signed him for. They signed him to be a franchise QB. I don't think he's taken that far of a step back since he's played.
We'll see. I mean, who knows? It's been a while.
It's been forever. So, but then like also him being very good, just because I don't think he'll ever be an average QB. I think he'll always be at least very good until he gets pretty old.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I'm going to put him in the middle category because the Browns paid him a lot of money not to be very good. They paid him a lot of money to be their franchise QB for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to go ahead and put him a franchise QB, but I'm going to put him in front of Dak.
Okay. So, like, right there.
Yeah.
If he would have played last year and he was what he was, he'd probably be MVP, I'd imagine.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. So, yeah, it's fair to kind of put that question mark behind him a little bit. Next guy, Drew Lock.
Oof.
He is a backup. He is not good. Drew Lock's not good. He's not
simple.
Good. He's not good. He might start this year, and if he does, he's the worst starter in the league. And he will be replaced. No, he's seriously not good. I feel bad. I like the guy. He's a cool dude. He has some like cool like Twitter moments last year, and seems like a fun guy. He's just not a good quarterback.
Fair enough.
That's it.
Can't argue with you.
No, this one's probably going to be pretty quick too. Gardner Minshew, got to throw him out as a backup. We've seen a little bit of him. He's been sparky at times, I guess is the right word for Jacksonville. But I mean, you're not really.
Is he better or worse than Danny Dimes? I feel like he's better, right?
Better? I want to say better.
He's shown at least better like moments.
Yeah. I agree.
So being on Philly, he'll probably have not too many chances, but
I mean, Jalen runs. He'll play.
Yeah, so they might have some cool packages that they could maybe.
Yeah, he'll play because Jalen's not gonna play every game every season. Like when you're a running guy, you wind up sitting out a little bit. So
right,
but put him at backup.
Yeah,
that's fair. Another quick one we got here: Jacoby Brissett, backup. He's literally on teams to be the backup. He's never on the team. Thinking
he will be the starter.
Oh, we're gonna start. What was that?
He will be the starter to start the year. We get
12
weeks of he's on the Browns.
The Browns, that's right. That's right.
12 weeks of Jacoby Brissett, and he's a backup for sure.
Yeah, but he's 100% a backup. He's placeholder till Touchy feelies over there comes back from his suspension.
Easy. Touchy feely, jeez. This is a really hard one. To me, this is like one of the harder picks of the list so far.
Yeah.
We have Jalen Hurts, and if this is a fantasy one, he's MVP caliber, right?
Oh, yeah. Fantasy MVP.
Yeah, this is a fantasy MVP type quarterback.
That's
I don't think
quarterback.
he's quite yet a franchise quarterback. I think like obviously like Philly thinks he is, right? And I think most teams would assume that their starter is a franchise quarterback, just like, oh yeah, he's their guy. I think he's very good, and I think he's better than Derek Carr, or I think at least this season he's going to be better than Derek Carr. I think the Eagles are going to be fantastic this year.
I do too.
I don't think it's fully going to be because of him. I think they just kind of have a good storm, like a perfect storm of like their roster just kind of got smudged together, and it looks really nice out of nowhere. But I do think that if you look at this Eagles team versus the team that won a Super Bowl, I would much rather be in this quarterback situation than the one they were in before. And so for that, I think he's very good. Obviously, Carson was fantastic that year, but in general, you know.
Right.
I think he's very good, and I think he's like right next to being a franchise. I think he's a good season this year away from being a franchise QB and like being considered one of those guys.
I like it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Y'all hungry for some W's?
Yes, sir.
We got J-Bo, Jameis Winston.
Give me the LASIK, baby.
Mr. 30-30 himself. He got the new eyes. He got hurt after he was looking really spicy for New Orleans. But injuries derail you, and it sucks. It really does. And are you going to build your franchise around him? No. Is he going to compete for MVPs? No. Is he very good? No.
Maybe. Maybe.
He maybe could be.
Maybe.
But right now, is he? No. And I'm not going to put him below average because, like, we've seen what he could do. We can see what he could do. So we're just going to throw him right in between Baker and Wentz at average.
I can get down to that. He might throw he might have a lot of yards this year, although Slant God got hurt again. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Them slants do something to your hammies, apparently.
Dude, it's too much fast twitch movement. I've been saying this for years.
Your ligaments are doing slants.
I've been saying this for years. Yeah, Jameis, that average feels right.
Yeah. I like that.
Right. He I think he has the highest ceiling of probably any average quarterback we put.
I'm not mad at that.
But yeah.
All right. Next we got another, in my opinion, average QB who gets way too much hate in this league. Jared Goff. I think he's at the back of the average.
We give a lot. Me and Brick slander this man a lot.
Yeah, like
you can make a whole like 10-minute compilation of us just slandering the man.
It's to me, it's rough because at the end of the day, he still led a team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like granted, there was an ugly Super Bowl.
He was on a team of a team that went to the Super Bowl.
Hey.
But still, Joe Flacco led the Ravens to the Super Bowl, and he's average.
Yeah, elite.
Much at.
That's my starting quarterback, baby.
Sure is. Week 1 starting quarterback.
You're lucky
Joe
he's not on this list, Brick. I wouldn't want to hurt your feelings.
But yeah, Jared Goff, I think he gets way too much hate. I think he's an average QB. He's definitely better than people below average. He's obviously not very good, but he is a good placeholder until you figure out what he wants to do. But he has that ability, and he has the potential to take that next step into very good if he can get it together.
If he can like throw accurately and like read progressions and like get the ball out faster and a lot of other mechanical issues too.
He's a frontier average player, but he's not below average.
I can hear you. I hear you.
Okay.
I hear. And you know what's crazy? His former Cali buddy, Jimmy Garoppolo, is going to be right next to him on this list because guess what? Jimmy Garoppolo is in the exact same situation. He went to a Super Bowl. He also lost. Did he lead them there? Was his coach really good? And that's the main reason they got there. Yo.
Yeah.
the cue to Draymond. We won. Yeah.
Yo.
Jimmy G is in the prime of his career, the beginning of the prime of his career, and just got kicked to the curb from starting quarterback for a guy who's never played more than like a handful of minutes. And he's lucky to be an average. But he is average.
Jimmy G's career has just been so weird, dog. Like, you got the time on the Patriots where you're balling. They trade you, and now you're just a winner, pretty much. You're winning over there in San Francisco, and then just
that's
weird.
The only reason he's not below is because they win. Still.
Yeah, and just
the only reason.
He's like the most disrespected, like above average in the sense of like win losses QB in the league, and it's wild.
But he's handsome. He is handsome.
He's the most handsome man on this list.
Yeah.
100%.
So gotta give him his points for that.
Yeah, he's a good looking dude. Good looking dude.
Another good looking dude. We got Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty. Joe.
How much stock are you taking into that Super Bowl run?
I'm taking a decent amount of stock. Not too much though. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's an MVP caliber player yet.
Okay.
But I am going to put him as a franchise quarterback because that's exactly what he is right now. And he's showing that's what he could be right now, especially the year that he got hurt. He was balling, got hurt the rest of the season. Cool. You have a great year. You guys make a Super Bowl run. That's the sample size we have, so we can't go anywhere else. So going off of that, you got to put the man at franchise QB.
Yeah.
No other way around it.
It was different. It was different than the Jimmy G and Goff Super Bowls too. Like, he was like a big proponent in that.
Yeah, like if he's not there, you guys aren't going. If the other two aren't there, maybe the stars align. Who's to say?
But I do want to say that Joe Burrow has had the luxury of having one of the best offenses that's been put together in recent memory, with 3 top 25 wide receivers. You have a top 5, 6, 7 running back, possibly. You can argue whatever. So having those weapons behind you and like being able to have one of your number one dudes and from college on your team definitely helps you out a lot. So I think that's, to me, is what would be keeping him from MVP, just because he has a lot of help.
Yeah, but also being a QB, like, you got to get the ball to these receivers. There's been quarterbacks with great receivers. They're not getting the ball over there, and they're not doing nothing. So you can't knock the guy for having good talent around him. It's just, is he able to make the most of that talent? Yes. So that's what you got to compliment right there.
Yeah.
I think I'm just salty because someone said he was better than Josh Allen, but whatever.
It's not us, though. We're not saying that.
Get the hate out. This is a very unbiased.
Get this CBS article you read one time out of your heart, bro.
I'm sorry, guys.
Like,
hey, just forgive me. Anyways, we got the first prospect off the board, Jordan Love. I'm not even going to go too much into this. He was a first-round pick from Aaron Rodgers. Almost caused him to leave the Packers because of it. Has not played a single game in the NFL yet, so I have no idea if he's good or bad. He's looked pretty bad in backup situations. Hasn't looked good in preseason situations, but I will never give anyone a grade off of what they look like in preseason, what they look like as a backup. Yeah. So with that being said, prospect.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Perfect. Speaking of prospects, Josh Allen was a prospect at one point. He looked not good when he was at Wyoming. His first year as a rookie, he didn't look great. His sophomore year, he was better, but still not great. And, you know, we're going into, is this year 5 we're going into now?
This is 5th year, yeah.
Yeah, he took the big leap last year. And we kind of saw it year 3 too, but like last year we really saw it. He just makes big plays, and he's always had the big arm. He's a freak athlete. And at this point in his career, going into year 5, it's hard to not put him as an MVP caliber quarterback. I mean,
absolutely.
I do expect him to regress a little bit this year. I do expect slight regression, but like not where it's like, oh, he's having a bad year. I think it's just like you lost your OC and you're going to keep the same offense, but losing your OC always hurts a little bit. And now there's a full year of like you being great out there for people to kind of scale and plan for. And the Bills, I think in every preseason poll, are the number 1 team for the most part. Maybe unless you have the Bucks because Tom Brady. But they have a big target on their back. So when you have that target, it gets a little bit harder. And he hasn't experienced that target yet. So I think he takes a step back, but like that doesn't say much. I think he's an MVP caliber guy, and he's great.
I do want to say this is his second year in a row. Well, this will not be his third when he balls out this year. Second year in a row that he's had a really good season. He's been in an MVP conversation because 2020 season he was number 2 in votes behind A-Rod, and this year he was like what, number 5.
Yeah.
So I don't think he'll regress too much further than that.
Yeah, I think it's just a team thing. That's
I'm not looking at any regression from him. I kind of think he just stays on par. Like, I don't think he's gonna get a giant leap as we've seen.
Yeah.
But I think he just continues. He just keeps putting in the work.
Yeah, he's left every year, and I've been extremely grateful. Love you, baby. That's to you.
That's to you.
Justin Fields. This one's interesting because from what we've seen, 2-8 record. That speaks volumes. Speaks a lot of volumes. I don't really know what to expect from him. Like, obviously, you're not going to sit here and put him as a backup right now just because this is going to be his second year. So, and I don't know if I could really say he's average or even below average. So I'm going to go ahead, give him a prospect spot just because there's not a sample size that we could really base anything off of right now. So
I don't think it's the lack of a sample size. I think it's the lack of like people above him with head coach, organization, GM, all that, with actual working brain cells. And the Bears quite simply didn't have that last year. I think them drafting him was a mistake in general, not because he's bad. I think he's fantastic, and they got a steal in getting him. That's why they did it. Just the Bears are so far from being good. Like, the Bears literally have one player in Roquan Smith that I think is even, like, redeemable, and the rest of the roster you could get rid of, and they would be okay. Like, they might.
And Roquan Smith doesn't even want to be there anymore.
Exactly. So it's like, there's a lot to fix, and it sucks that he's there. So I like prospect, but, like, how long are you going to be able to be a prospect for? I don't know.
I'll give it to him this year just because,
I'm with you.
Second year.
I'm with you.
So that is me back up on the clock. Got Herbie fully loaded. This is tough. To me, this is very tough.
Yeah.
Skill wise, Justin Herbert probably is one of them, is the most pure just thrower in the league. Like, deep ball, check.
Yeah.
Short game, check. Middle of the field, check. Like, outside the numbers, check. Accuracy, check. Like, he's a little bit mobile. He can get out of the pocket.
But he goes through his progressions too, is like insane.
Yeah, and his power is up there with Josh Allen, Mahomes, like Rodgers, like crazy. My only thing with him is only knock, and it's not necessarily him. It's more so just the Chargers. Is that he had an incredible year last year and missed the playoffs. And granted, the whole thing with the Raiders happened in that last game. Coach blaming the coaches off for that one.
First year head coach.
Yeah. To me, I don't think there's that many MVP caliber players. I think there's maybe 4, and I do think he's right outside of that. So I'm going he's something that can very well jump into that tier. But for this year, I'm gonna put him as a franchise QB. But like the best franchise QB. Like there's no other franchise QB that we'll put on this list that is.
If there was a tier between, he would be the one there.
Like if there was a line that I can put him on, like where like the top, like his head was on the MVP, but his like his neck and torso were on the franchise QB, I'd put him right there.
It's the classic Vegas 1.5 on like the over.
That's literally him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if he wins it this year. So like, I hear you. I see you.
Yeah. I don't have him in my top 4 to win it right now. But if he did, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
Fair enough.
Kirk Cousins. I've been a really big Kirk Cousins proponent. Not that I think he's great or anything like that.
I'm very interested in this one.
I think no matter where you put Dak Prescott, you have to put Kirk Cousins. I think they are the same quarterback. I think they're the same. I don't think there's anything that the other does better, except Dak runs a little bit better, but Kirk's like better at like running an offense that like moves efficiently. They both don't particularly wow me in terms of, ooh, let's win a Super Bowl with this guy. But they're both pretty darn good. They put up great numbers. They don't translate numbers-wise, but...
So you're saying he's a franchise QB?
No, I personally wouldn't have Dak there. I think Dak's very good, but Brooklyn put him there.
Well, again, I put Dak there because of where he is right now. Is he the Dallas Cowboys franchise quarterback? Yes.
I mean, like, what you literally are and what you're projected to be are different. Like, Daniel Jones is not a backup, but, like, he's a backup, you know? So I think Kirk is probably the best very good if Dak's going to be a franchise QB. I think he's number like 11 or 12 in terms of quarterbacks in the league. And I think he'll be exactly that again this year, unless the offense gets a lot better with an offensive head coach, which might happen.
Yeah, but you got the Rams offensive coordinator, right? That's your head coach now?
Yeah.
And he got Cooper Kupp, Triple Crown, so yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, this isn't a wide receiver list, but I think Justin Jefferson is going to be the best wide receiver in football this year. And it's mostly because of this new offense. And Kirk's going to be a reason for that. So
very good. Okay.
Yeah, so I would say both of them are very good because I think they're literally the same. But for these purposes, since I don't get to pick them all, he's very good.
Side note, since you said you were talking about Jettas, they're lighting him up in the backfield to run routes. So very interesting news with that one. So very excited to see what they do with him. And quick fantasy corner plug, he's wide receiver 1 this year. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's not close either, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy we're on the same page there.
All right. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. We got head coach / Call of Duty Pro / starting quarterback.
Do it again.
You got Tyler.
We got Kyler Murray. And, man, you look at how he played at the start of last year, MVP caliber. No doubt about it. He kept pace, making it happen. He did not keep pace, though. In fact, fell off quite a bit. Cool. Mm-hmm. Okay. Franchise quarterback. I don't want Kyler as my franchise quarterback. There's so much drama with him already. And we're going into year 4, bro. Like, why are we doing all this beef? Like,
you're being disrespectful now.
Hella disrespectful.
Listen.
Hella disrespectful.
Dakota is better than him.
Listen.
Yeah, right. Crazy. Dakota, that's disrespectful.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All the nonsense right now is wild, and he needs to clean it up. But he is better than very good, and I do consider him a franchise quarterback.
Boy, I was going to go.
Let me finish, bro. I'm just saying what I feel right now.
Where is he going in franchise? Where is he in franchise?
Yeah,
put him in front of Diddler.
Okay.
All right, that's fair. All right, I was just making sure because I'll be like, good sir. Good sir.
But he does have to clean it up, because if he don't clean that up, you're just bringing a weird environment for your team. Like, the fact that they got to put you to call the plays because you calling them off and you're not even calling good plays.
It took him a full week of calling plays to realize, like, he should put the thing above his face because, like, the other team will read his play calls.
So it's like, come on, dog. So that's the only reason there was any of that. But he's in the franchise quarterback. I'm not happy about it. They're happy about it. Live your life.
Now, G, I feel like it's about to get disrespectful. I want to hear it.
Actually, I'm not. Lamar Jackson is easily a very franchise quarterback. There's no debate. I think I'm disrespectful because of Nico and Nico alone, because of Nico be saying some really reckless stuff about Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen debates.
Shout out Nico.
Yeah, screw him. But Lamar Jackson is a very, very, very good football player. He can throw the ball. And his ability to run the football hasn't been seen before unless it's Michael Vick. That's the only time I've ever seen someone like him run the ball. And I think the way he can break your ankles is better than Vic. Vic was very fast, and Vic was just going to outrun you.
Yeah.
And now with this more athletic league that we're in, like even these freaking defensive linemen are the most athletic I think I've ever seen in my entire life. He still puts them on their knees. No homo.
Hey,
but with that being said, I don't think he's better than Justin Herbert. I don't think he's better than Deshaun Watson. I do think he's better than Joe Burrow. And for that, franchise QB, and I know he was an MVP before, but like I said, we're going off what's current, and his stats have regressed every year since he's won it.
Yeah.
So I think the league just kind of realized, okay, Lamar's going to run the ball, so...
He's still a great thrower. I do want that narrative one day to die.
No, he is a great he's a
great
thrower. Like, he is not a running back.
No.
I don't know where that came from.
That was a terrible take by whatever coach said that.
Probably Skip Bayless.
There's a million people that say that.
No, I think it was like a DC that said that. If I'm not
but there's
mistaken.
like a lot of like just media members that say that, and it's just like, shut up.
They are.
Please shut up. Just like watch like 10 minutes of tape. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Dude's talented, bro. Like,
yeah. Speaking of talent, Mack Jones is below average.
Thank you.
He's not that good.
Thank you. Golly, perfect situation. It's literally the perfect definition.
Now, do I think he's better than Davis Mills? I don't have really any idea. Yes. I'll say yes because he won. So he's one spot better than Davis Mills. That's the tweet. Yeah, he can make the team play well, but like the Patriots are going to suck this year, dude. They're going to be horrible. The Patriots might win 4 games. Like I think they're going to be really bad.
And the only reason they were good was because of their defense.
And their defense got way worse. So
terrible.
JC Jackson's gone. Like this team's gonna be bad.
And his offensive coordinator McDaniels is in Oakland. I'm not Oakland, but Las Vegas right now.
Yeah,
so
they're gonna be bad, dude. And he's like gonna struggle.
Yeah. And I'm excited.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah. BK.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Marcus Mariota coming up. In theory, I'm pretty sure he's going to be the starter in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
He already is. No, there was like one practice.
It literally took like a half a practice, and they called him a starter.
They saw.
They saw Kenny, and they're like, oh.
They saw Desmond
Ritter. Yeah, they're like,
so like just off of like what we've seen from him, definitely not a backup quarterback because he just hasn't had a chance to really be a starter anywhere. So now that he actually has a job, I think you got to go ahead and just put him middle of the pack at average because we haven't seen him ball. We haven't seen him ball yet.
Average is pretty good, bro.
You putting him at very good?
I'm not putting him in the same caliber of Jimmy Garoppolo and Jared Goff who have gone to Super Bowls. No.
So you putting him below average?
Yes. I think his ceiling of very good, obviously, but like no.
I'm putting him at the bottom of the barrel of average, though. Like it's not above any of those guys. Like it's fringe, like how she was talking about with Herbert. But
I don't think he's an average quarterback. But
I don't as well, but
because there's a lot more guys on this list too. Like we can't have 9 average quarterbacks. That's not how like math works.
Math don't be mathing.
Yeah, but you say average, so we'll throw him at average.
Yeah,
and we'll adjust when we have to adjust because we will. we will. Gee.
Matty Ice, I'm going to put him on the complete opposite spectrum of Marcus Mariota, and I put him as the best average quarterback we have on this list.
Beautiful.
You said what?
I said beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said disrespectful. I was maybe.
No.
Like, I think
average is good, bro.
Obviously, he has an MVP. He has a Super Bowl appearance. The only thing is, he had Julio Jones. And, I mean, granted, I'm not going to blame him for the Falcons being a terrible organization, but he was the face of the terrible organization, and you just have to roll with that. I do think he's an upgrade over Carson Wentz.
Which is hence why he's higher than him in the average tier.
Exactly, and I think he'll be able to take the Colts to the playoffs, unlike Carson Wentz, because all he has to do is throw the football like 3 times a game and get the rest to Jonathan Taylor, and you'll win the game.
That last game was so bad.
It's terrible. Just don't throw 3 interceptions, and you're in the playoffs.
Please,
to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We're begging you.
That's it. Simple.
We're begging you. Yeah, cool. Matty Ice. He'll be okay.
I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford is a franchise quarterback. He just won a Super Bowl. The Rams went out and got him. They gave up a lot for him, and then they won a Super Bowl immediately. If that's not a franchise quarterback, I really don't know what is. So, yeah.
Facts.
I'll put him. I'll put him below Lamar for overall skill set, but above Joe Burrow because he literally just kind of sunned him. So, yeah. We
Fair
love
enough.
we love Stafford.
Somebody we don't love, Mitch Trubisky.
Hey, whoa.
You love him?
Money Mitch was a good backup quarterback for us. He didn't do
Oh,
that.
that's crazy. Wait, that word is crazy, Brooke. That's a crazy word. Because
where he's at.
Yeah, Brooke gotta tell me.
That boy is the best backup quarterback.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Make it happen.
Honey.
We have four quarterbacks that are going to be starting week 1 in the NFL. We have in the backup tier. I think that's perfect.
Be like that.
As the world should be.
Mm-hmm.
As the world should
right. Be. I guess. And guess what? We got another backup quarterback coming up right here. Good old big insert the Blake here, Nick. Super Bowl champion. Super Bowl champion. Big Dick Nick. Super Bowl champion. But his whole career, what has he been? A backup. And what is he going to continue to be? A backup. But a backup that can beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl puts you, in my opinion, as the best backup.
Fair enough.
Does that put you at below average? Just that?
That you could beat Tom Brady? No, because
okay, just asking. It was
even when he left, because he went. If he was different, if he left and went to go be a starter, but he left to go be a backup again.
Go be a backup, yeah. Fair enough. I got the easiest pull here. So
no, you don't. I'm joking.
Yeah. Shout out to Patty. And if this are we doing this off talent or projections? Just this particular guy.
Little bit of both.
Because if this is talent, he's number 1. I'm just gonna put him at number 1. He's the best quarterback in football. He just is.
Fair. Yeah.
We could debate it. Like we could look at numbers. Obviously, Rodgers just won 2 MVPs. Blah 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 blah. Mahomes might be the most talented quarterback in the history of the game, and it's been a couple of years now, and we've kind of seen it. And that's a hot take, and I don't know if I even believe it, but he might be. And so, with that being said, MVP caliber.
Fair enough. We got Mr. XFL coming up next. PJ Walker. We haven't seen much, so prospect.
Sure. That's a mugshot, dude.
That's a mugshot. Yeah, that looks like a Photoshop. Is what it looks like.
Yeah, they like
that picture's terrible.
Yeah. He missed photo day or media day, whatever it's called.
Yeah, no, that was rude.
And next we got Mr. Unlimited. Mr. Let's Ride.
Bronco Country.
Let's ride. Franchise QB. Let's ride.
Where at the franchise?
I don't know. Where'd y'all put Stafford?
I have the way that I have it for everybody to see right now is Herbert, Kyler, Deshawn, Lamar, Stafford.
Okay. Well, I'm putting him behind Stafford because I think he is probably the last franchise QB that I see. Yeah.
We also have Joe Burrow and Dak in that list too, but
yeah, but I think he's behind
the last
Stafford.
Left. Yeah, the last left.
Yeah. I don't have much to say about Russell Wilson. We all know what he can do. We all know what he's capable of. He did it forever in Seattle with the worst O-line I've ever seen in my entire life. Now he gets a good O-line. He gets a better defense. He gets collectively he gets better weapons. Well, not anymore because Tim Patrick got hurt, but gets better running backs. Gets a better head coach. Gets a better offensive coordinator.
Better defense,
like blah blah blah. I think they'll finish top 2 in the AFC West because of this man. So gotta put him franchise. You gave up a franchise to get your QB, so
yeah,
ergo franchise QB.
Seriously, Ryan Fitzpatrick is retired, but Tom Brady is not on this list. So we're replacing Tom Brady with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Same guy.
It's the same guy. They're the same age. So Ryan Fitzpatrick, aka Tom Brady, is going into MVP caliber. To G's very disgruntled heart and mind, and we have a cutout of Tom right here that I'm putting over him. So if you're looking at this, you now see Tom Brady. Yeah, he's MVP caliber. I don't care if he's 50. He is.
He's a bully though.
He do be bullying, and he took an extra vacation by taking the preseason off, which is pretty funny. He's back next week, though. Welcome back, Tom.
Welcome back, Tom. We maybe missed you. I don't know about G. G got a lot of hate in his heart.
Oh, only towards certain people. It's not like I'm loaded full of hate, but Tom ruined my year for 20 years. What did you expect? He ruined yours too.
He has.
The Jets ruined their own.
That's fair. I mean, but we did for 20 years too. So
you can't be mad at your girlfriend leaving you if you like never took her out on a date, you know. And that's
but even even when we did start taking her out on dates, he was still lighting us up.
Still cheating.
Still
like a motherfucker.
Don't look at her Instagram DMs. You'll be sick.
You'll be sick, bro.
Where's my basin? I need to throw up.
Oh man, don't ever look at the DMs unless you want your feelings hurt.
I can. Amen.
Amen.
Side note, time out. If you ever want to lose weight, if you want to get your life together, if you want to get fit, open up her phone, scroll through the messages, scroll through the Twitter DMs, the IG DMs, and just go through the likes if you can too, because I promise you will be driving off of pain for the next year and a half, and you will be the most shredded dude in your city. So if you're struggling right now in the gym, that's your motivation from G-Man himself, who's also going through pain. Let's pain together and let's get it, baby.
Let's get it, baby.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
City boys!
City boys!
Next up, we got somebody who's
not a city boy.
Not a city boy. This dude has been fooling everybody. I don't know how we've gotten to this point that, like, he's been a very good quarterback in the sense of like what the Tennessee Titans have been doing. Shout out Derrick Henry for leading that pack. You guys lose AJ Brown. Tough. You guys lose the ghost of Julio Jones. Tough. Ryan Tannehill.
It's tough. I think it's just tough.
It's like somewhere between average and below average. Like I'm not going to put him at very good.
See, I just feel I feel like you're being disrespectful by putting Tannehill below Mariota when he literally took Mariota's job and then made the team better. Like I feel like that's disrespectful.
I mean, but again, Mariota's at the very, very end of.
But you didn't. But you're not here. Like he literally took his job and then made the team better. Like how can Mariota be better? Like that makes no sense. That makes literally no sense.
You're right, and that's not what I'm saying.
Where are you putting him?
We're gonna go ahead throw him right behind Matty Ice and average.
Okay, fair enough.
I think that's a solid spot for him.
Fair enough.
All right. That brings me to the good Lord.
Have your way. I don't care. I don't got no love for him. Have your way.
I mean, even if you did have love for him, bro, I'm giving him the work. He's trash.
We should have had a trash tier, but we didn't want to be that rude.
Yeah, well, if there was, I would probably he shouldn't even be on this list anymore. Backup QB, bottom tier backup QB. Give me Drew Lock over. Give me Drew Lock over him because he's terrible.
So at our current pace, you think he's the worst established quarterback in the league? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
And to me, it's not even close. Not actually, it is close, but he's pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he stinks. he stinks. This is Taylor Heineke, right? This next one?
Yes.
Okay. Below average. I think he's the best at the below average. I like him over Case. In fact, he's like the same player as Case. Taylor Heineke had a sneaky decent year. If you guys don't know, Heineke had 3,400 yards last year, which is like wild for Taylor Heineke. So he had a sneaky decent year. I mean, not anything great. He had a lot of interceptions. 15. That's a lot of interceptions, but he's if he's starting a game for somebody, I'm not like, yeah. They probably
didn't he scare the Bucks that one year in the playoffs too? The first game,
yeah, bro. Yeah,
and he beat the Bucks the next year too. Crazy.
Yeah. Gave him a good scare. So shout out to that.
Shout out Heineke. I need you guys' help with this one. Taysom.
We're putting him under prospect because he's not a quarterback.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna make it. I'm
no,
gonna make
no,
a new
no.
tier.
He's played enough. He's played enough.
He's definitely played enough.
He's not a.
But he is a quarterback. That's the thing. He is.
Yeah, like he's a tight end now. I think that's what they're putting him at.
I made a new tier on mine. It's not a QB. It's at the bottom, and he's there.
Okay.
It's not a QB. He's a horrible quarterback. He's a great athlete. He is an athletic wonder, but boy, is he not a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he's a prospect because he's played too much, in my opinion, for him to be a prospect.
No, he's definitely not a prospect.
Like literally, he's a backup. Like you know what he feels like.
Technically, is a backup.
You know what he feels like if the Philadelphia Phillies. This is a baseball transition, real quick. But if the Philadelphia Phillies lost JT Realmuto and their backup catcher, Bryce Harper's gonna have to go catch because he did it in college or he did it in high school. That's what it feels like.
Yeah,
hey, get back there, Bryce. Good luck.
Yeah, have fun.
Good luck, baby.
So that's what it feels like. Emergency.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Cool with it. Teddy Bridge,
Teddy Two Glove.
This man's career, I thought was going to take off, and then a horrific injury ruined all that. He was a monster in Minnesota. Loved that man up there. But that being said, hasn't found his footing again, but I still think he can go onto a decent amount of teams and be the starting quarterback. I'm putting him at below average.
Where at?
I have my bottom below average is Mariota, Keenum, and Cam. So I'm probably going to put him and Davis Mills. So I'll probably put him behind. Actually, I think he's better than Heineke too. So I'm going to put him. I have Mack as my first below average. So I'll put.
Okay, so Mack's not number second. 1 on here, but we'll put him at the top of that. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Cool. Do you guys, I don't know how you guys are going to feel about this one. I think, and I mean this, I actually mean this, Trevor Lawrence is going to be very good this year. I think so. I think he has a head coach that, like, doesn't only think about, like, banging MILFs. I think that...
Teenagers.
Well, yeah, just in general. I think he doesn't...
There's a far gap between MILFs and teenagers.
Not when you're older than both.
He meets them right after freshman orientation. He meets them.
Yeah. I think 18. Oh, anyway. I think personally, and you guys tell me how you feel about this. I think Trevor's gonna be very good this year. I think Jaguars are still gonna suck, but they're gonna win more games than they maybe otherwise should because he's gonna take a really big jump. He looked very good the second half of the year, and he's still one of the biggest prospects to ever happen in the NFL in terms of quarterbacks, and I think he's going to kind of prove that.
Yeah, I would say bottom tier, very good. Top tier, maybe he's probably better than Matty Ice average, but yeah, I think T-Law is. I think he's really good. I do think he's really good.
It's just weird to put him above Matt Ryan. Like, I feel dirty doing it, but like I'm going to.
Yeah, but I mean, like Matt Ryan also has weapons. Trevor Lawrence is going to be thrown into Christian Kirk.
Fantasy sneaky guy, by the way. Christian Kirk, if he's healthy.
Christian Kirk for fantasy purposes, grab him because he's getting majority of the targets.
He's getting 100 targets by week 17.
And they paid him a lot of money so that they can do that. So, yeah. Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Fair enough. We're up to the San Francisco 49ers prodigy, apparently, because they don't got no love for Jimmy. They want this guy to be the franchise quarterback. I don't. I haven't seen much. Like there's nowhere else to put him but prospect. Like throw him.
He literally hasn't played.
Throw him in front of PJ.
I do think he's the best prospect.
He's the best prospect.
Sure.
And you know, this prospect could easily flip into franchise QB, especially if the Niners play out of their mind. But
yeah,
literally haven't seen him play like enough to judge. So yeah.
Nope.
Okay. That breaks to my least favorite quarterback in the league. Tua can't throw past 20 yards all over. Noodle Arm has Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, but will still somehow manage to underthrow him into a pick six at least 5 times this
To the
year.
defense.
Can't wait. Below average.
Where?
Don't really care. Behind Bridgewater, ahead of Heineke.
He's a starter, and I do think there's still some upside to Tua, but how much?
I'm like, it just sucks because he's a lefty. He's just a bad lefty.
I want lefties to be good, so bad.
They're just not. They're not quarterbacks. It's unfortunate.
I don't know how or why.
It's weird.
It's weird. Shout out to Vic.
What a monster.
A monster.
So where's Tua going?
I put him below average. Yeah.
Yeah.
In front of who?
Like towards the top. I put him in front of Heineke, behind Bridgewater. That's how I have my list.
Yeah,
fair enough.
That's kind of fair. I have Tyrod Taylor, who I said is going to start over Daniel Jones. And the crazy part about that is you have 2 backups on the same roster. And so out of respect for my take that he will eventually start over Daniel Jones, I will put him in front of him and in front of Gardner Minshew just so there is a buffer between them. Because last week we chewed that list for doing all the cop-outs where it's like, oh, I don't know if the Broncos are going to be better than the Raiders. So let's put them next to each other. Shut up. Do it with your chest.
That list sucked.
He's definitively better than Daniel Jones by 1 whole player.
But he is a locker room favorite.
Apparently, he smells fantastic. Which was a weird Saquon clip that was unprovoked. So Saquon, what's going on?
And it's crazy though because Justin Herbert got his start of his career because the doctor punctured his lung.
It was intentional.
The man almost died, bro.
It had to have been intentional. There's no shot it wasn't intentional.
But now Justin Herbert is almost MVP. So
dude, doctors hate him. Doctors hate Tyrod Taylor.
Crazy.
This is fantastic that Brooke gets this.
Oh, look who we get to end at.
We get the end. Bring it back around. City boy. We got the MILF Slayer right here. And because of the sample size and because of what he does off the field, we are giving him the best prospect spot because he putting up numbers off the field. Nobody else on this list putting up numbers off the field like Zach Wilson. I don't care. So give my dog the prospect spot. I do think he'll have a better year. I do think the Jets improve. What does that mean? Probably not a lot to everybody else. For me, it's a Super Bowl win in my head. Cool. We're great. But I do think he plays better. We're making strides. I think he fits into the system whenever he gets back from injury. So, yeah.
I like the prospect because, like, maybe he comes back from this injury, gets healthy, balls out, and becomes a franchise quarterback, or he's just, like, going to hold hands with Mitch Trubisky down there and back up. I think both are very capable. So.
Very possible, and he's shown spots of, like, being a dog, so...
Yeah. And it hurts that they lost Becthari, however you say his name. I don't know. Your tackle.
Mekhi Becton.
Yeah, I don't know who Becthari is, but yeah, Mekhi Becton.
I think you're thinking of the dude from the Packers, Bakhtari.
Yes, that's who I am thinking of, but yeah.
I think that's who you're talking about.
Yeah, but yeah, you guys lost that, so that's going to hurt him a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, this list feels, for the most part, pretty right. This feels right.
Any last minute updates you guys got?
No, I the only issues I have with it are Mariota and maybe Matt Ryan not being very good. That's probably.
I mean,
it.
we can
we can move him right now, bro. Like this is what
we can move Mariota like behind Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah,
and then Matt Ryan behind Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I got Matt behind Trevor Lawrence still. Out of the disrespect in my heart. You
gotta let that go.
I'm not
let it go.
We're allowing Trevor Lawrence to be very good. We understood your take. We hear it. We're letting it. We're not doing that.
I changed.
We're not doing that.
I changed it. It's done. And then I do still agree with the Dak take, but like they're next to each other anyway, so whatever.
Yeah, regardless, they
are still next to each other on whatever numbered list, so it works out.
They're still holding hands.
They are still holding hands. It looks so weird for me because anybody watching on YouTube is seeing Tom Brady with like a slight with the slight beard of Ryan Fitzpatrick behind him. And I'm looking at Fitzpatrick, and I'm looking at this list like, wow, Fitzpatrick's really better than Josh Allen, huh?
Buffalo
From
Bill
one,
legend,
yeah,
baby.
one Bill legend to another.
Man, respect.
Yeah, this feels right. I do, yeah. I think anybody in franchise QB besides Dak could win an MVP. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
I can get down to this. And I'm really appreciative that we did a lot of starting quarterback disrespect today. It felt right.
Look, just because you got a starting job don't mean you deserve to be a starter.
Does not mean a dang thing.
It's like when some people like apply to a job, you know, you apply to be a manager and like you just didn't have the experience, so you lied. You got the job.
Or you got the job before somebody else and they just don't want to bump
switch
you down.
Yeah.
Which respectable. They loyal, cool.
Hey, more tips with G. Lie on your resume. They don't care. They don't check it. You were the manager of Toys R Us. Toys R Us is closed, bro. They can't check it.
Who are they gonna call? Dr. Toys R Us? They're gonna call him Giraffe? No,
they're gonna call the
They're
Giraffe,
not calling
bro.
the Giraffe.
They're not calling Jeffrey. Jeffrey the Giraffe is not getting a phone call from
Was
your
his
job.
name Jeffrey with a G?
With a J?
Okay, because G would have made sense because, you know, it's all good. That's gas, though. The Giraffe.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, call them.
They're not calling, bro.
Blockbuster. They're not doing it. I promise you.
Blockbuster, come on.
Lie on your resume. Get the job you want. Get paid the money you want. Stop playing around out here.
You heard it first.
Not first. I hope you've heard this before. I hope you've heard this before. Otherwise, you probably...
They heard it first here.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Well, I think this is our list, and we will post this somewhere. I'm going to screenshot it with all of us, and we're going to save it, and we're going to make sure that you guys see this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know which quarterback you disagree with. There was a couple takes here, but we all kind of got a consensus a little bit, and we're going to be back again, maybe sometime this week, maybe next week, not sure when, with wide receivers and running backs. And those are the lists we're going to do. We're not going to do defense and all that. That's a lot. But we'll do running backs. We'll do wide receivers. No tight ends because nobody cares. But we'll be back for those positions. So if you guys are excited for that, let us know. Leave a like down below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. And make sure you follow us at Spectators Media to get all of the latest and greatest from us to you with love. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Peace.